Hi everyone, it's Michelle here from Novels on the Run, and it's Talking Books Tuesday number 22. I got loads to get through, so I'm going to do it really quick. Well, as quick as I can. Prince of Power, Elizabeth Starr. This is her book 2. And I've got a little signature there from Elizabeth Starr. But what I'm having a giggle at is I've just forgotten the name of the... Oh, I've written everything down. I've got all my notes and I forgot to write that down. In her series, The Chronicles of Yavin. Y-A-V-N. That's it. Sorry about that, Elizabeth. Now, and thank you for that book. Much appreciated. And I've got some little key rings from Elizabeth. And I'll just move Harry Potter. There we go. And I've got some magnets. There's a few there for some swag. I've got, there's King Thad, some little cards with a little bit of a blurby thing on the back. This is all from Elizabeth. And some little bookmarks. And you've actually got the head of King Thad there. And there's, oh, look at that. And the signatures on the back. There of Elizabeth for Anton is on the back, on the front. So there's some lovely swag that I'm going to be giving away soon. Now straight on, lovely Lisa Murray had organised with Colleen Hoover a little surprise for me. Slammed, got a lovely bookmark, and I was so excited when I got this. Michelle, never regret. I try not to. Thank you so much to these two lovely ladies. Okay, this is me trying to rush. This is my problem. And this is a really thick book, but all of Colleen's writing. There's a magnet, a bookmark, and Michelle, like, live, love. I try to do all that. Thank you again so much. So appreciated. Isn't it beautiful? Sad story. Oh, but isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I'm just so grateful and just wonderful and all that. Yes. Now, Bloodlines. Michelle Mead. Golden Lily, Michelle Mead. The Indigo Spell. Love this series. Love Vampire Academy movie. Blood Sisters coming out soon with Australian Lucy Fry in it playing Lisa. Thank you to Penguin. I don't think I showed the book when I received it because that was a bit of a surprise. I read it on NetGalley and I didn't realise I was getting the book. So, and I just want to say, it's a lot of reading, but love the series. Thank you. Now, the cover has been revealed for the Raven Boys. It's not up on Goodreads at the moment, which I'm surprised about. For Raven Boys the Raven Cycle number 2, which is called The Dream Thieves. I have put it up on Facebook, and again, it's got this beautiful painted look about it, and it's gorgeous. And that comes out in September 17th, The Dream Thieves. And I just want to say the Fiery Heart is book 4 in Bloodlines, and that comes out November 19, 2013. Got this at Big W, one of my little cheapies. Full Moon Rising, again, not the best covers, but she has got different covers to these. This was obviously a while back. And this is actually book 1, so I'm really excited, in the Riley Jensen. So I'm always looking in that little pile to see if I can find any authors that I'm interested in. Now I'm on to pile 2. Now, I really love Oliver, I say Jana. Oliver Forsaken, book 1 in the Demon Trappers. Forbidden, one of Miss Susie's bookmarks that she always made to match my books for me. Forgiven, I haven't read yet, and Foretold, I've just got from the library. Only reason I haven't read them because that's the end of the series. Oh, after Forgiven. So, oh, Team Beck. Oh dear, only 2 more. I mean, they're all out, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to hold off the inevitable that it's finished, but that's okay. Now, this is my hardback of Wither, the Chemical Garden trilogy. I really like this, Lauren DeStefano, and I love the covers. Well, I got Fever from the library, so that's number 2. See how they match? Very, very nice. And I've got Sever, number 3, on reserve, and that was only out February 12th. So yeah, I'm looking, and there's a 1.5 after this one. There's Seeds of Wither. Dystopian, but very different, and I really, really liked it, and I love the covers. The covers are just like, there is a bit of a mad scientist, I call him, in this, but it's yeah, I really like it, and I'm so glad I get to read, well, the 1.5, number 2 and number 3 very shortly. So I'll need to put this all down in order, as I'm going to get myself in a pickle and my piles are going to fall over, because I've got a lot to get through. Now, Maya Banks, where are you? Pile number 3. Right, I've got them labelled again because I've got so much. Oh, I forgot to say, didn't I? Michelle Mead, Shadow Air. That's the very last in Dark Swan series. I've got it out the library before, but I hadn't got around to reading it. I have heard mixed feelings about the last book in this series, so I'm going to do it. I get panicky about last books in series, but yes, there's a reason for what went on in the previous the previous book. But yes, looking forward to reading that one. Now, okay, I haven't done my review yet because I've read a mass of books and I haven't done the reviews. I have to get onto those. Shatter Me, Tahereh Mafi, Dystopian. Wow, that's all I'm going to say. Wow, can this woman write? It was very interesting reading this book. It's a very shiny cover, sorry. Very interesting reading this book. As you can see, there's a crossed out comment there. You really feel part of her head because it's like you're talking to yourself like she is. Very good. But there's this twist in it, which all of a sudden, I'm going to have to read Unravel Me very shortly. Thank you to Alan Unwin for that one. But there's this twist that kind of makes the genre change, I think. Very interesting, very intriguing. There is the 1.5 Destroy Me, which I'll try and get a hold of, that novella, and read it before I do Unravel Me. But didn't see that coming. And I'm not saying I'm not sure if I like that idea. I'm not saying that at all, but it flipped where I thought this book could be going, which in itself is intriguing. So yeah, Juliet, and then yeah, so where this book starts to where it ends up is just different. But yes, the writing is beautiful. I love it. Okay, next. Oh, I've been trying to do this real quick so I don't have a 20-minute. Alright, Maya Banks. Now, my library has told me I've only got 2 weeks on these, and I think I've blown a week. Number 1. Apparently they're very popular. The Darkest Hour is KGI number 1. No Place to Run. I just want to hold that one up for a minute because he hasn't got his shirt on. Is number 2. And, we're back to wearing shirts again. Bummer. Hidden Away is number 3. And this has got a lot of books in the series. But it's the KGI. And because I was having so much fun with Joan Swan's series, of which I've got an interview, which is like she's just done one. I mean, I can ask the questions, but it's what the author does with the questions, and she's done a wonderful job. I'll be putting that up Saturday week in a week's time due to stuff that's all scheduled. But I kind of, got on to sort of the lads type books. Okay, here comes the pile stacking up. Now we go for a bit of a flip side. Oh, and by the way, of Maya Banks, that series, Darkest Hour has 6,282 ratings, an average of 4.19 on Goodreads. No Place to Run has 5,371, an average of 4.31. And Hidden Away has 4,457 ratings and an average of 4.27. So it's a very popular series, hence why my library is trying to get me to return them in 2 weeks. I will do my best. Oh, Lord. Now, book pile number 3 is still going. Now, Meg Cabot, who, she wrote The Princess Diaries. Wow, she's written a lot of books, lot of books. I'm giving Abandon, number 1 in the Abandon trilogy, a read. And also, I'm trying her Insatiable series. This is number 1, and Overbite is number 2, and that's Meg on the back. So she wrote The Princess Diaries. So there you go. Okay, book pile number 4. Oh dear, my desk is going to break. Okay, now for some Rachel Benson. I love the Soul Screamer series. Like, I love it. I'm Team Todd. I know. I can't help it. I've been Team Todd for a while. Oops. If I Die is number 6. Is number 5. 5.5 is Never to Sleep, which is Sophie's little novella. Before I Wake is number 6. And With All My Soul is number 7. And I just need to catch up on... Oh, look at that. The bonus Never to Sleep's actually in the back of Before I Wake. Oh, I bought it separately. But that doesn't matter because that went to a hospital at the time, in Jude's Hospital, I think, in America. So that was okay. So yes, I'm just looking for... I'm going to read those this weekend because there's a reason. You'll find out next week. Or the following... Not next week's Talking Book Tuesday, but the one after. And Unbound is another series that Rachel's started. And Bloodbound is number 1, and I've got Shadowbound number 2 from the library, and I think Oathbound is number 3 coming out. Okay. Which pile am I on? This one, number 4. Now, I've been wanting to read this, but Before I Fall, it's been out for ages. Lauren Oliver, who writes Delirium series, Delirium, Pandemonium, and Requiem. And I know this is a sad one, so but I'm now going to do it. I'm going to read it. And thank you to the lovely Penguin, Song in the Dark. It's only a small book, which again doesn't bother me at all. Looking forward to reading this one. Christine Howe. I've heard people have a bit of a buzz about this one, and I love the cover. So thank you to Penguin. Now, the lovely Indigo's Hatchet, isn't it? Please tell me. Orion Hatchet, yes. Now, in Australia, UK, The Gathering Dark is actually, everywhere else, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I actually always liked the name Shadow and Bone because it actually, and the cover, because it kind of suited the story. Now, The Gathering Dark is no longer in Australia and UK going to be called The Gathering Dark, as I understand it. It is reverting back to Shadow and Bone. Hence why it looks deceiving. I have been given 2 books in one, book 1 and book 2. How interesting is that? I kind of have to open it up a bit to read it though. So, that's the end of Shadow and Bone, believe it or not. And there's just some, little interesting insight bits on Kindles and all sorts in between. I've never had a book like this. And then it starts off with Siege and Storm. Oops. Number 2. So that might be a little, I might have to just crank that one open a little bit. I don't want to ruin the binding on it, but I'll just have to crank it open a little bit to read it. But I've got book 2. Now, if anyone has read this series, at one stage everyone was having a little bit of trouble deciphering between the Darkling and oh, it's gone out of my head. Darkling and oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Anyway, I've forgotten his name, but it was a tough one, choosing between kind of the goodie and who you thought was a baddie, but then you weren't sure if it was a baddie. So hopefully in Siege and Storm that will fix that. But yes, I just have to, I can hear the hinges creaking, get it open. So thank you to Hachette. Oh my goodness me, I've got the Leaning Tower books here. Okay, moving on. Oh yes, I have been, as I said, I've got a lot of reviews to write. A ridiculous amount. The Vincent Boys, Abby Glines. I've got a lot of Abby Glines I've been reading, and the Vincent Brothers I've got on reserve at the library. I am really looking forward to getting, because the Vincent Boys, I always remembered this cover, because it was not this cover. It was a girl, and she was sucking on like a, we call them Chupa Chups here, but I think you might call them Tootsie Pops or something, Cherry Pops or something. It wasn't like this, and I mean, I'm not sure which cover I prefer better, and it was in like a lime green with the red, and you would have seen it if you were looking around. And that's the Vincent Brothers on the back. And have a look, parental advisory, explicit content, so just, you know, there's explicit content. Moving on now, Kelly Gay. I came across this a little while ago. I've only got book 1 and 2 from the library. Better Part of Darkness is book 1, and The Darkest Edge of Dawn is book 2. Charlie Madigan. And the reason I got these, because you see how the girl here is looking a bit, you know, kick ass, etc. With GTM Alcye's Blades of Winter, I really liked that character. And she was a little bit like Inspector Gadget, but very cool writing. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading about some more kick-ass girls by Kelly Gay. Last pile. Okay, the lovely Jay Kristoff, Australian Storm Dancer. And here's my, I know, call it showing off, whatever you want. I have to show it. That was my little signed copy. He's got Kinslayer coming out, I think it's September 2013, book 2. But at the moment, if you go over to his page and click on bonus or extras, you'll be able to read Pray for Rain, which is a short story. So go do that. I just had, yeah, this is one of those reviews that took me like 4 days to write. Oh, but yeah, very magnificent, brilliant writing. Okay. Oh yes. Note the sticky notes. I'm meant to be going to lunch in 10 minutes. Oh, I'm going to be late again. Note the sticky notes. Biting Cold, book number 6. In the Chicagoland Vampires. Oh, the brain. Chloe Neal. I've got number 7, House Rules on ordered at the library, and Biting Bad, the cover has been released, and that's number 8. That comes out August the 6th this year. But Mallory, goodness me, and oh, Gabriel's back. Yes, I do like him, and got a bit of tough love going on in this book. And Ethan being a protective Ethan, oh bless him. I just wanted to say Merritt, Ethan, just jump each other. But there's always that little bit of tension, but I really liked it, as you can see from my little thingies. All right, Birthright. Now, this is a dystopian. Dystopian? Dystopian, yeah. All these things I've done, I really liked Gabrielle Zevin and her story. Well, there is book 2 because it is my blood. Covers look very, very different to each other. I'm looking forward to reading what book 2 is all about, because it was it was chocolate that was what is the word? There's this mafia, and they've got chocolate, but it's illegal, but it's very good. I liked it. So looking forward to book 2 because it is my blood. Now, because I've just finished reading, and I've had this before, A Temptation of Angels, but started to read it, but Michelle Zink, couldn't get through it. This is YA, but I've just been reading her 2 novellas, Temptations Heat and Temptations Kiss, which is an adult. This is YA, but it's from this world. But it's adult, so you can imagine. But they're only novellas. So I just wanted to actually read about the world that it came from. So that's why I got it again. Now, oh gosh, what's the first one? Hereafter. I read it on digital. Tara Hudson. And I had Arise on digital, but it went poof. So I've just gone and got the book. Hereafter. I called that a very clean book, and it was a book about a ghost. But I did like it, but I wanted to see, and it's New Orleans, yes, I wanted to see where she went with it. So here's Arise. It's quite a big book, and I quite like the cover as well. So I'm going to be reading that. I won't show that one because that's it, I think, because that's enough. So I've got Lee Christine interview Q&A's coming up shortly. Aussie author from Entangled, wrong word, Escape Publishing, which is a purely digital imprint of Harlequin, Australia. That's coming up shortly, and also Joan Swan's Q&A's coming up shortly. I'll have the swag giveaway, but I won't run that until after the blog hop that I've got with the new adult with TalkSoup in America. And about 15 reviews are coming down the pipeline. And that's it. I'm going to go and have a really good week. Yes, that's all I've got to say, I think. That was 5 piles, that's enough. Have a really good week, and I'm off to Sydney next week, and hopefully I'll have lots of things to tell you in the following, so not next Tuesday, the one after, and show you. I might have some interesting giveaways that are signed as well by somebody that is very, very, very I love in YA. Okay, catch you possibly not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. See ya, happy reading.